Hello everyone, the chef photographer here. My name is Vincent and today I'm going to show you what's on my bag. So in here, it contains a lot of necessary equipments that I use for my photography work. So let's jump into it. Okay, now so let's go to the camera that I use. So in here, I have the X-T2, the Fujifilm X-T2. So this is the main camera that I use here, this one. I have been a Fujifilm user for 2 years now, and so far I'm really happy about it. Not to mention the quality, the color that you can't explain that this camera produces. So now let's go first to the very wide angle lens that I use. So this is the 16 on the camera. This is the 16 f1.4. So sometimes when I go out with my friends and I know that we are going to be in a tight place, for example an indoor party, so this is what I use, the 16 wide angle lens. This one is equivalent to 24mm in full frame. Now let's go to the second lens that I have here. So the second lens that I use is this one. This one is the smallest of my lenses. This is the 35 f2, but it produces a very sharp, one of the sharpest lens of Fujifilm. One thing that really amazed me when it comes to the Fujifilm is that even though it is an APS-C sensor, so APS-C means of course smaller than full frame, it still renders a beautiful bokeh with this one. It says that the sensor size affects also the depth of field, but for me it's actually pretty good. It actually produces a very good bokeh. So now let's go to my favorite lenses that I use especially for portraiture is this one. This one is a 56mm f1.2. It's really good when it comes to portraiture. It's one of the best, but some photographers says that 90mm is actually the best one for portraiture, but for me, I love the focal length of this one. For the 90, the thing that it doesn't have the stabilizer, and I'm actually waiting for the 80 2.8 macro lens. So instead of 90, I would prefer to buy the 80 2.8. And for the accessories, I have here, this is the prism glass. I really love using this for creative photography for portraits. You have to make sure that when you're going to use this, or when you're going to buy a prism glass, you have to make sure that the length of the glass is longer than the size of the opening of your lens. Alright, so yeah, this one. So it's perfect for if you want to create some rainbows on your photos. This is a perfect one. And of course, when it comes to low light, I really need a stabilizer. So I have a tripod. This is a Vanguard Max tripod. This one, it's actually very affordable tripod, but it does the job. This camera is actually pretty small. So even though this tripod is not made of metal, it's not made of aluminum, but it's actually pretty solid when you're going to mount this camera here. Because if you have the bigger camera, a full frame camera or a DSLR camera, that is another story, because you will really need a metal maybe or aluminum kind of tripod that can sustain the weight of your camera. That's actually the reason why I prefer the mirrorless camera or the mirrorless system. It's because of the weight and size, and it's very portable. You can actually bring it anywhere you want. And of course, I have here my MacBook. This is an old model, 2015 old model. I didn't buy the newer version, the 26 or the 2016 or the 27, because simply I don't have money for that one. Okay, and this one is actually doing pretty good for me, right? Because it has all the ports here, this one, so it doesn't give me a hard time. So for me, this one is still a good MacBook Pro. Premiere Pro, my Final Cut Pro, all those editors, it's still pretty good when it comes to editing videos, and I have no complaint. So why would I upgrade, right? And now let's go to the editors that I use for my photos. I use the Lightroom and also a Photoshop. And of course, to protect all my lenses and also my camera, you cannot find this in my bag because I don't really use this every day. This is a cleaning solution for all of this. This is a denatured alcohol. Remember guys, okay, this is very important. Remember, you are not going to use an alcohol to clean your camera. Why? Because it will create a rust and you don't want that. Okay, remember that. So use a solution that has an ammonia or alcohol free, okay, that can clean your lenses and also your camera. And I also have here the brush, this one, to clean this, especially with the dust, and also a microfiber cloth. All right, so if you are not expert when it comes to cleaning your camera, myself, I'm not an expert, so I just clean the exterior part. Never ever try to attempt to open your camera and clean the sensor if you don't know how to. And I just want to apologize for the background noise of all the animals that you can hear. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time. Bye bye.